I'm documenting every single trade I took for the past year or year and a half on my YouTube channel with some breaks on and off. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what was my winning trades and losing trades for the past week, and also what is my planned trades for the next week, what I'm planning to do in the next week. And hopefully it's gonna be winning too. I'm currently almost break even on my step one challenge for funded account $100,000. I went all the way down to 93.5 from 100K. I had a massive losing streak. And then in last 2 weeks, I got it almost back. I actually could have been break even yesterday, Friday, if I closed the trade which I was supposed to closed, but I decided not to because I wanted to hold over the weekend. And then in the morning when I woke up here in Australia, I didn't like to trade anymore, so I decided to close it for small profit. But it's okay, we have another week next week, so it's all good. So I'm gonna show you now on my screen what is the week trades for the past week, and then in the next clip I'm gonna show you what is my trades for the next week. So if you're some sort of form interested in learning trading and you don't have a short attention span, and you're not like TikTok person who just scroll, watching 10 seconds or 5 seconds of a video and then skip the next one, then this video may be for you. If you actually want to learn something, if you don't want to learn trading, just, you can go. Anyway, so this is the first trade, EURUSD. I'm actually still in this trade. The reason why I entered this trade, it's very simple. We've been continuously bearish and then we flip bullish. You can see this beautiful candlestick up, and then let me actually grab this tool, that's much better. And then we came all the way down here. I didn't call this trade down here, but it's okay. We came back up here again when we made a higher high, and then came down here, and then I entered, basically break and retest. That's all I did. And you can see I entered this trade. Let's go to 4H. I took majority of my profits. Let me just get this like this. I took majority of my profits around this area. The reason being is because I did expect we're gonna have a pullback and I needed the profits. So you can see we have the pullback, but it looks like for the next week I'll be maybe able to enter another trade here. I still have around, I think 10 or 20% of the position open, so it's not a big deal. At least I keep my truck on the trade. This is what I do sometimes. I enter the trade, I take 80-90% of the profits, and if I still different, if I like the trade and I still think the trade has a huge potential up or down, I take 80-90% of the trade, and then I keep my eye on the trade with the open position, so I still have it in my mind, and then I can enter another position once it pull back to the area where I want to enter another trade again. So that's Euro USD. Then we have Euro AUD. This could have been beautiful trade. You can see it's basically the same thing, break and retest. Let me get this like this. We've been bullish and then we break below, came back, and I sold. Now I could have been 1 to 2.5 on this trade. Let me see. Yeah, you can see here. I'm gonna get this tool. You can see this one to 2.5. Is it? Yeah, 1 to 2.57. But I decided I wanted to hold this over the weekend. But then this morning, a few hours ago, when I wake up, I saw on a 1 hour, I believe, or 2 hour, I saw this massive spike back, and I decided to close around this area for small profit, like $400, I think, which is like 0.5% of the account. So it's okay, not a big deal. I might be able to looking at this trade next week and re-enter again possibly. Next one we have NZD-JPY, and then NZD-JPY again. This is my impatience. I was beautiful. You can see this is the resistance. We broke below the resistance, came back, and I sold. It was a beautiful entry, but then I decided to close this trade because I saw this spiking up, and it was Friday, so I didn't want to hold it anymore. But you can see if I hold it, this was a nice rejection. Rejection from the resistance area again, and be beautiful, went down again, but that's okay. And then we have USD CHF. USD CHF, I entered too early. I was supposed to enter actually in this area on the resistance and then sold, but I entered way too early, and then eventually the trade worked out. But yeah, obviously I entered too early, but other than that, it will be beautiful. And then we have Euro GBP. This is what I mentioned last week already. I hold it since last week, and then we had a nice bounce, beautiful bullish engulfing, or not really engulfing. And then on 4 hour, you can see it basically was doing nothing. I thought it's gonna consolidate and then eventually go up, but it didn't. It just broke, so I was wrong on this one. And GBP JPY, I was right again. If I just decided to hold this trade, you can see I sold here last week, and then it was a 1-to-1. It came back and I closed it last week on Friday, and you can see what it did. It just beautiful bounce from here and then went all the way to my profit target area. So if I just hold it JPY, there will be 1 to 4.444, which is beautiful. So lesson learned, to just basically hold your trades and stick with your trading plan. Finally it's Sunday, because to wait from Friday to Sunday, or actually to Monday, to market to open, it's ridiculous. Seriously, why the Forex market has to be open 24/5? Why it cannot be open 24/7? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't love trading as, for example, as I do, or people who make it really, really big in trading, they love it. Like if the Friday comes, I'm already cannot wait for the Monday for the market to open. Like I don't know what to do with my life on the weekends, honestly. And if you don't feel the same way, you probably won't make it. Just to let you know. Anyway, I'm gonna show you what's my trades plans for the next week, as I always do that on Sunday when it's nice and peaceful. Currently we have a nice, beautiful rainy day today. You can see some palm tree there, and very, very overcasting today. And I'm planning these trades on Sunday. The reason being because the market doesn't move, and I'm not getting distracted from anything else. I can only open my trades or my trading view and then just plan for the next week without any distraction, thinking like, oh, is this candlestick moving like this, whatever it might be. So let's get straight on my screen. I have prepared these few trades. I'm not gonna trade all of them. I'm gonna pick top 3 for the next week. But I'm still in Euro USD, which is this one. Since last week, I closed around 80 or 90% of the trade, because I still believe it can have a really, really big potential. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen next week. Let's go on a 4 hour right here. If this is gonna, yeah, there we go. So you can see I had a beautiful entry. Stop loss nicely below these lows, and what I'm anticipating is we're currently coming to the 4 hour support. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna bounce from this and continue up all the way to this daily resistance, or actually I believe this is weekly. Let me see. Yes, this is the weekly resistance. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. So if that's gonna happen, if I'm gonna get my entry signal, I'm going to, let me go a little bit lower. If this is gonna go all the way up, this will be 1 to 5. Obviously, if I enter the trade on this 4 hour support, it will be much less, but it's still very, very good trade. Next one, I have GBP AUD, and I tried to enter this trade when it came all the way down here to this support, but I didn't. I missed out. So now it looks like we came down to another support. You can see this was previously, let me zoom in. This was previously resistance, support, and then we had past the support, came back, and now we look like we're working as a support. So if you look at the 4 hour, I believe, yeah, we just currently broke above these previous highs. So you can see we've been nicely bullish, came all the way down, and I was thinking I wanted to actually enter the trades around this area because this is the support, but I didn't get my entry signal, and you can see it broke below, so that was avoided loss. We came back and it was kind of creating nothing. It was just kind of sideways, and we now shift to structure on the 4 hour. So I'm waiting for is to come back to this area to the support, and I'm gonna buy. Next I have NZD CAD, and I like this trade a lot, ladies and gents. The reason being is, let me see, I traded this trade, I traded this position last, was it last week? Let me see. No, actually, beginning of this month, February. So NZD CAD, you can see very, very clear support in this area. You can see it was a support here, it was acted as a resistance, support here, resistance, and now I think we're gonna act as a support again. And I traded here because we had a nice bearish engulfing on the daily, came back and I sold, and this trade was almost 1 to 3, so that was a very nice trade. So what I'm thinking now is it's gonna come back to this area, you can see this arrow, and I'm gonna buy and simply long it. That's about it, but I will see if I'm gonna get my entry signal or not. What I'm trading in Forex, it's very, very simple. I have no Fibonacci retracement, I don't have any Wagyu bullish, crazy smart money, liquidation, manipulation, bank smart money. End of the day, even that I don't have under my arm so many years of experience in trading, I can tell you confidently that is all bullshit. ICT, all this crap, Fibonacci, and I saw someone trading with like a circle Fibonacci or something like that. End of the day, if you really look at the chart, it's all support resistance, and that's it. Break and retest. That's really it. That's what's really in trading. You just have to get the intuition and the feel for the market and learn the technicals, and then you should be fine. So that's the NZD CAD. Next one we have NZD JPY. I traded this trade last week, I believe. Yes, I traded it last week for 122.2. It was a nice trade. What I'm thinking now is for this position to come back to this resistance again, and I sell again. We will see. USD CHF. I don't really like trade USD CHF, USD Swiss franc. The reason being because the swap fees on the Swiss franc is just ridiculous, but I will see. Swiss franc, I wanted to actually trade it. I think last week I told you about this one. I entered this position here, but previously I had my, resistance here in this area. I believe it was something like this, and I entered way too early. You can see I entered way too early, and then I got stopped out, and it went in my way, but obviously I wasn't in it because I wasn't patient enough. So now what I'm waiting for is to just come back again, possibly to this area, and I'm gonna be selling. Next one I have Euro GBP, and then this was a last week loss. I hold it for over a week, this position, because this was a nice support. You can see very, very strong support, but it break below, so I was wrong. But now when I look at the weekly and the daily chart, you can see this was a previous high or low. This is the high, and we broke below it, so now it turned bearish. So if I go back to daily, all I'm thinking is to basically just to come back to this resistance on daily and then sell. Next one I have Euro AUD. I traded this last week, but I didn't go all the way to my trading or to my profit target, which was all the way down here, which would be 123.66. Was 123.63, is it? Whatever. And instead of that, I didn't take my profit on let me see, what was this? 1 to 2.5, I think, almost. I didn't take my profits, reason being because I wanted to hold it to my profit target, original profit target. But that's okay, because I did close it in small profit on Friday or Saturday morning when I wake up, because I'm in Australia. So what I'm planning is for this price to come back to this daily resistance. Let me go back on the daily. to come back here, and I'm gonna sell again. It's very, very basic stuff, ladies and gents. GBP JPY, it's either gonna come back to this resistance and I'm gonna sell, or it's gonna come back to this resistance and I'm gonna sell. NZD USD is very, very similar to almost the same like Euro USD. Come to this area and I'm gonna buy. Next one I have Swiss franc JPY. Basically same thing as a GBP JPY and NZD JPY. Wait for it to come back to this resistance and I'm gonna sell. And then we have Euro CAD, which is beautiful. You can see head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, and we have right shoulder. So now all I'm waiting for is my confirmation, my entry signal, and I'm gonna sell. That's basically it. But I like this a lot, but we'll see what's gonna happen next week. But from my experience, this is gonna can drop really, really hard all the way down here. And then USD JPY, and basically same thing as GBP JPY and NZD JPY. It's either gonna bounce from this area, daily resistance, but preferably, since the EMA is all the way up here on the daily, I prefer to bounce all the way from this area. Let me see, something like this, boom, and then sell. So that's basically it. My favorites, I'm gonna actually move this one. Is it the EuroCAD? Yeah, I'm actually gonna move this one all the way down up here because that's my favorite. And that's about it, folks. So that's my trading plan for next week. I'm currently, I'm actually gonna show you. Let me actually show you my account metrics on my Alpha Capital. I'm almost break even to what I actually lost for the past a month. So as you know, when I started last month after losing my previously funded account with 100,000, I started another $100,000 account, and it was just a losing streak basically again. Let me see, where can I show you that? Here we go. So currently loading. So this is my 100,000 step 1, and you can see currently the balance is 97.844. It was actually at one point when I was holding Euro AUD, if I closed it, it would be 99.6 at one point, but yeah, I wanted to hold it to my target profit, and this happened, so that's okay. My win rate is 37.14%. The reason being because I had a losing streak since January, but again, that's okay. And you can see this, I started 100k here, and you can see this massive dip all the way to 93.5. And then since then, we just continuously since February just going up and up. So what I'm planning for this month, which is ending next week, I believe, potentially to complete the step 1 on 100,000 by Friday or Monday, which is March, after this following week, and then get to step 2. The step 2 should be quicker because you only have to make 5k. This one I have to make 8% from 100k, and I should be back funded. And the more I'm thinking about it, if I can make 8% on my step 1, why I couldn't make it on my funded account? If you watched any of my videos previously, I basically always withdraw, I believe, around 1 to 2% previously from my funded account. So not really big withdrawals, but from this funded account, which I'm going to have very, very soon, I want to make at least 10, 20, 30% before I make a withdrawal. Why? Because look at this. I also have another account, which is competition account, right? Let me see, dashboard. I have a competition, this one. This is a competition, so if you win first place, you get $100,000 funded account. If you win second and third, you get 50k. And you can see I have the current balance is 128, but the actual balance is like 131. The equity, oh sorry, here 130 and a half. That's the equity, and the win rate is 64. So if I can do it on my competition account, why I cannot make it on my funded account, right? And that's about it. I'll see you next week. I have nothing else to say. I hope you enjoyed. If not, goodbye. If yes, drop a like, leave a comment, share your journey, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.